Alright, so you may have done the Photoshop one, but we're going to get on the Illustrator. I recommend you try both so you see how these both work. Now this, you can do traditional reflect and rotate and stuff in Illustrator, but there's a simple mirrored effect that we can do. So if you download the PDF and there's an extra video, and this is for like more complex like doodle type mandalas that you may be trying to do. We're not doing a doodle type for this assignment, so keep that in mind. So you have the PDF open, and I would recommend keeping it open and watching the video at the same time. You are going to be pausing and going back and forth a lot. So it's kind of going to be a little tedious, and your computer may not like it. These computers are notorious for not being fans of this. These file sizes tend to be a little bit more complex. So if you opened catmandala.ai, I actually have my assets already here. There are a bunch of the same cat images that we used before. They're all grouped, but they're vector files. So that means they're infinite scalability. So the first thing we're going to do is they're just on the side. Just leave them be. We're not going to play with them at the moment. We're going to create a polygon. And we're just going to kind of shift click anywhere. We're not going to click and drag. And we're going to take the sides to 12. And the radius is, well, the radius, so let's do 4 inches. And I may do the 0 fill. So using the move tool, and let's do it's trying to arrange it. There it goes. It wants to arrange it to the other objects, but we want it to be in the center. And our file's 10 by 10. So if you want to scale it up, you can. And I may even go to Window Align. We're going to align to Artboard. So I'm going to vertical align center just to make sure I'm in the dead center. We are aligning to Artboard, not to selection. And I'm actually going to do a stroke just so I can see my object. So once you have your 12-sided polygon, we're going to take the ruler tool. And you know what? I am actually going to take all of these shapes. Right now, they're all selected, even the cat. And I'm going to go to Object, Hide, Selection. So I don't have to worry about them right now. We're just hiding them. So we're going to take this line tool, and while your smart guides are on, and if they're not, just do a Command U, you're going to kind of go across. So we're going to start here, and this is, you have to be accurate. So if you're hovering over, you want it to say anchor, and then you want to kind of go over and over. So go to click, drag, and I can make sure I have a stroke just so I can see where I'm going. I'm going to kind of go over here, click, drag, click, drag. Where it says anchor, that's when you know you're good. It's my dog. Alright. So once you have it all here, it looks like you have a bunch of different pie slices, and you're going to select it all together, and you're going to open up Pathfinder. We're going to use those bottom Pathfinders that we haven't actually played with yet. So these, you have divide, trim, merge, and I recommend playing with these later, but we're going to do divide. So what it does is it kind of took all those objects and kind of cut them. So we're going to select this, right click, and ungroup. Now we're going to delete Now, since I didn't do it correctly, it did not want to work. So one moment. So that's why you always want to make sure you're going anchor to anchor. So while it's all selected, we are going to select Pathfinder Divide. It'll be all selected. Right click, ungroup. So it still didn't want to work right. So we're going to keep trying as many times as it will work. Take our line, anchor to anchor, anchor to anchor, anchor to anchor, anchor to anchor, anchor, anchor to anchor, not path. Select all, Pathfinder, divide, all is selected, ungroup, so let's actually even zoom in a little closer. No, we only really need one pi instance. So you only need just one pi slice. The rest you can just kind of delete. And that's kind of the one you need. So the next step is going to be a little bit more complicated. So we're going to go turn on the outline mode. And that's kind of a graphic thing, so you can kind of see the strokes can be a little confusing, but actually if I zoom in, I see some paths here. So that means my pi isn't actually the right size. So let's start all over again. So it took a few tries, but I got my pi instance, something that it has to be done correct at this state before you can do anything else. So it's a little complicated, but it absolutely has to be done correctly. I think using the trackpad on my MacBook is not as accurate as using a mouse. So keep that in mind for accuracy for the anchor to anchor point. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the rotate tool. And this is something where you have to be super accurate. So we're going to go zoom, 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 zoom. Zoom, 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 zoom. Right here where it's set hovering over anchor, I zoomed in. We're going to hold down Alt or Option and click at the same time. So that instance points was not as accurate as you see it's here. So we might even go to this outline mode and place it here. And you're going to go with 360 divided by 12 sides is 30. And hit copy. And it should. Now we didn't have the shape copied, so it did not do it. So while it's selected, I zoomed in too quick. Here's going to be at the tip. Rotate tool. Over here. Copy. So then it made another copy. So instead of doing that a bunch of times, we are actually going to go Command D. And we're going to do 11 more. So we have 2. So we need 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So now we have a bunch of pi symbols going around. And we can go to View, Preview. And now you got your pie slices nice and back. So now we're going to do that first triangle, this guy right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to double click to make it into a symbol. Which we didn't do. I only do this about once a year, so. We're going to take those and we'll just keep that for practice. So we're going to pull up this little guy, select your pie slice, hit a new page. We're going to create graphic symbol. I'm just going to make it pie slice. Graphic symbol. Now, as it's selected, we're going to go to that preview. That's my dog crying because he wants a treat. Outline mode. Rotate tool. And we're going to get the very tipper. All right. Right there. Alt click. Copy. As you see, because I wasn't as accurate, it did not work as well. So we're going to do Command C. And I'm zooming super close because I want that accuracy. Alright, so we're going to try again. Again, my mouse pad is not as accurate. Once you have it all set up, you made your symbol instance, and rotated them, you can double click on your symbol, not your new symbol, but your symbol instance. To edit it. And if we just draw something and go back, it's going to automatically repeat throughout. So we have our assets here, and we have them off to the side, so I'm going to take these mice, copy them, double click our symbol instance, and I'll say yes, I want to adjust them. You can kind of delete that and add your new guy. And go back, and it's added throughout. And it's only going to kind of go one way, so that's the kind of downside. Now let's say I want to add this guy. I want to double click here on my pie slice. And I might scale him down. Right there. And you know what? Maybe I want him to kind of flip on the other side. So I can take this guy. I'm going to click on my reflect tool, figure out where I want it to reflect, and I have my guide here. Hit alter option. And it'll just kind of give me a preview, and I can hit copy. And I can kind of zoom out. And then I have my little feather toy kind of going around. Now let's say, you know, I want to actually do something that isn't so like in the pie slices. So I'm going to actually pull this down. And say, you know what, I like him there, and I want him to be like there. So this is not using the symbol instance, but what I can do is there, and I can hit my reflect tool while it's selected, hover over there, alter option, and maybe I do a 45-degree angle and hit copy. And then so I'm kind of reflecting there. And I may send both of these guys, object arrange, send to back. If I wanted to, you know, play around with different types of things that you may want to do. So definitely have fun. There's some other tutorials I will post. Please watch them. This is a little confusing. You may need to watch a couple tutorials and try it on your own. And definitely follow the steps on the handout step by step. And there's a few other tutorials I will post. This was a little bit more confusing. Since I'm using a trackpad, it is not as accurate. So definitely keep trying and have lots of fun. And if you have questions, just send me emails. I'll try to answer them the best I can. Thank you.